Hey, it's Jess, your beauty BFF, and I wanted to make a little video to show you how to figure out which foundation is the right shade for you. Since I'm not there with you, I wanted to make it as simple as possible for you to test and try the colors and to know for sure which one's right. So, looking a little bit more fresh and au naturel for you here, but here's the way to test it. So you're gonna take each of the little sample packets. Most likely I probably sent you a little packet, could be in a jar, but in the packet, on the back side, you're gonna see a color stripe of either pink or purple. And that's gonna tell you if you're using a luminous formula or more of a matte formula. Usually I send you just one kind because we already know what kind you want, but sometimes with certain women, we're not sure. And so I might send you both formulas so you can try it out and see what feels good on your skin. So make a note of the color and then the color stripe. And then you'll also see a number. So it may be ivory, beige, or bronze, and then it's 100, 110, 120, 140, all the way up to 200 and something. So as you look at that, just pay attention to which one you're using, and then you may want to see what's the range of colors I sent you. What's the lightest, what's the darkest? So you can just kind of be aware of where you're starting in the spectrum of what I was guessing that would work for you. So you're going to start with, say, the lightest one. Maybe that's how you want to do it. And all you have to do is take a tiny little bit, tiny, I'll show you what I'm talking about, like tiny, and you're first going to put it on your chest, and you're just going to see if it disappears. Now, obviously this isn't ideal in this setting, but I started with the lightest shade, and you probably could tell as I was rubbing it that there was kind of a white, just a white cast at first, and it's still there. When I look in the mirror, I see just a little bit of a white color. So that tells me it's too light. It didn't disappear and stay gone. So let's go up a shade. We're gonna go up a shade. One shade darker, and I'm going to use a different finger, and again I'm just taking a tiny dab, and we're going to blend on my chest and see if this one disappears immediately. Well, that one disappeared pretty quickly, and I didn't see that white hue. Let me look in the mirror here. It's perfectly disappeared. You don't see an oranginess, you don't see a whiteness, so we're going to try that one on my face. I'm just going to take a tiny little dab, and I'm going to put it right here. And the goal is for it to disappear very quickly. Just like that. There's not a strong presence of color. It's pretty much disappeared. That's a good sign that this is probably my shade. Now, if when you do it on your face, maybe it looks good on your chest, but you put it on your face, and it kind of leaves a white sense, that tells you it's too light. See how that contrast, the contrast between them gives you a lot of clarity. This one is pretty much invisible. This one has that white kind of look, or it might be an orange kind of look. See, you can still see that spot versus over here. That's how you know it's the right or the wrong shade. And that's why I always send a couple options for you, because usually contrast gives clarity. One, you're like, that's close, that might work. But then when you put a different one on, you're like, oh, wow, no, that one's way too light, or ooh, this one's way better. So a good idea is to try a couple. That way you can compare them and you can be 100% confident. And again, you're looking for the one that pretty much immediately disappears into your chest and your face. That way you know it's going to match all of you. And that doesn't leave that weird whitish kind of residue or an orangey brownish kind of residue. That's how you'll know you got the right color. So if you ever need help, we can FaceTime. I'm happy to help, but this can give you a lot of support in heading in the right direction.